All right, my guy, ever had that moment where you're chatting with a woman and you start wondering, is she picturing me in my birthday suit right now? Well, wonder no more. Today we're breaking down the 9 signals that she's not just thinking about you, but thinking about you naked. These are the kind of subtle moves that tell you everything you need to know. So let's dive in and crack the code. 1. The classic lingering gaze. You know, when she looks at you a second too long? Yeah, that's not by accident. When a woman holds eye contact just a bit longer than usual, and maybe even gives you that half smile, my dude, she's mentally undressing you. Her pupils might even dilate like she's seeing something she really likes. Hint, it's you. So, next time you catch her staring, just know there's more going on in her head than a casual glance. Now let's dig a little deeper into this. Eye contact isn't just a random occurrence, it's a window into what's happening in her mind. Studies show that when someone is attracted to you, their pupils actually dilate because they're processing more visual information. In simpler terms, her brain is soaking you in. Imagine this. You're at a party across the room and you lock eyes with her. She doesn't look away and you notice her pupils are a bit wider. Maybe she's imagining what you'd look like with less on, or perhaps even nothing at all. 2. The lip bite. Ever notice her biting her lip when she looks at you? That's not just a habit, it's a full-on primal move. This one's straight out of the "I'm thinking about kissing you" playbook. Lips are basically the billboards of desire, and when she starts focusing on hers, it's because she's imagining what yours might feel like against them. So if you catch this little nibble, you're definitely on her mind, and not in a "let's be friends" way. But let's talk about why this happens. The lips are one of the most sensitive parts of the body, packed with nerve endings. When she bites or licks them, it's not just because they're dry. It's often an unconscious signal of arousal. It's her body's way of saying she's ready for some action, even if it's just in her imagination for now. Picture this, you're telling a joke, and as she laughs, she bites her lip while looking directly at you. That's her mind going somewhere else, somewhere a lot more private. It's like she's giving herself a little taste of what could be. And trust me, it's not just about the joke. 3. Mirroring your movements. Here's a fun one. If she's copying your movements, leaning in when you lean in, taking a sip when you do, she's not just being polite. Nope, this is her subconscious saying, hey, we're in sync. It's like her body is doing a little dance that says, I like you. And trust me, if she's mirroring you, she's probably imagining how well you'd sync up in, let's say, other scenarios. Mirroring is a big deal because it's something we do without even thinking. It's rooted in the need to connect with others on a deeper level, which is why it's such a strong indicator of attraction. Think about it. You're at dinner, and you notice she picks up her drink right after you do, or she crosses her legs just as you do. This isn't just coincidence. It's her body's way of aligning with yours. The crazy part? This mirroring often extends to emotions too. So if you're feeling relaxed and she's reflecting that same vibe, it's because she's syncing up with you mentally and emotionally, maybe even picturing how well you two would vibe together in a more intimate setting. 4. Frequent touches to the neck and collarbone. Next time you're talking to her, check out where her hands are. If she's touching her neck or collarbone a lot, that's her body's way of dealing with the heat, literally. The neck's a sensitive spot, and when she's nervously or absent-mindedly touching it, it's like her body's flashing a neon sign saying, I'm thinking about getting closer to you. It's not just fidgeting, it's her imagining something a bit more intimate. The neck and collarbone are also areas that are closely tied to vulnerability. When someone touches these areas, it's often a sign of nervous excitement or attraction. Imagine you're at a bar, having a conversation, and she's lightly brushing her fingers across her collarbone. That's her body's way of showing she's interested, maybe even thinking about what it would be like if you were the one touching her there. It's a subtle but powerful signal that she's comfortable enough to expose this vulnerable part of herself to you, both physically and mentally. And let's be honest, she's probably picturing more than just a casual brush. 5. Sudden flashes of skin. Ever notice her adjusting her clothes to show a bit more skin? Yeah, that's not random. When she starts revealing a little more shoulder or leg, it's her way of giving you a preview. It's like she's saying, here's a little sneak peek. What do you think? This isn't just about comfort, it's about attraction. She's comfortable enough around you to reveal more, and her mind might be going even further. This behavior ties back to our primal instincts. Showing skin is a way to signal availability and attraction. It's been hardwired into us since the dawn of time. When she does this, even if it seems innocent, it's often a deliberate move, even if she's not fully aware of it. Picture this. She's sitting across from you, and you notice she casually adjusts her shirt to show a bit more of her shoulder. That's not just about getting comfortable, it's about making sure you're noticing her. And trust me, she's hoping you do. Because if you're noticing her bare skin, you're probably imagining what's underneath, and she's definitely thinking about how you'd react if you saw more. 6. Playing with her hair. Let's talk about that hair twirl. When a woman starts playing with her hair while looking at you, it's not just a nervous habit. Hair flipping or twirling is basically the flirting equivalent of a green light. It's like she's subconsciously trying to draw your attention to her, making sure you're noticing her. And if she's playing with her hair while making eye contact, she's definitely thinking about how good you two would look together. Hair twirling is one of those classic flirting moves, but there's more to it. The act of playing with hair is a way of self-soothing, sure, but it's also a way to draw your attention to her face and neck, two areas that are loaded with sexual cues. Imagine this. You're telling a story, and as you're talking, she starts twirling a strand of hair around her finger while smiling at you. That's not just idle behavior. She's drawing you in, making sure your focus is on her. And trust me, she's probably picturing how close the two of you could get. It's her way of saying, I'm interested. Are you? 7. The lean in. Here's the deal with leaning in. It's all about reducing space, physically and mentally. When she leans in during a conversation, it's not just because she can't hear you. She's closing the gap because she wants to be closer to you, maybe a lot closer. It's her way of saying, I'm comfortable with you. And let's be real, she's probably picturing closing the gap even more. Leaning in is a powerful nonverbal cue. It's about creating intimacy and showing that she's engaged in what you're saying. But more than that, it's about her testing the waters to see how close she can get. Picture this, you're at a coffee shop, and as you're talking, she gradually starts leaning in, closing the distance between you. It's not just about hearing you better, it's about feeling you closer. And if she's leaning in, chances are, she's already imagined what it would be like if there was no distance between you at all. 8. Unconscious touching of herself. If she's running her hands over her arms, legs, or lightly touching her chest while talking to you, it's not just fidgeting. This is her body's way of drawing your eyes to her and saying, notice me. It's like she's giving you a little hint of what she might be imagining, because let's be honest, she's probably picturing those touches coming from someone else, someone like you. Self-touching is a big indicator of attraction. When she's touching herself, whether it's her arms, legs, or even her chest, it's a way of directing your attention to those areas. It's like she's saying, here's what you could be touching. Imagine this. You're having a conversation and she's casually running her hand up and down her arm. That's not just a nervous habit. It's a way of drawing your attention to her body, almost as if she's showing you where she'd like to be touched. And if she's doing this while looking at you, you can bet she's thinking about what it would be like if you were the one doing the touching. 9. Flushed skin and blushing. Blushing is one of those things you just can't fake. If you see her cheeks turning red while you're talking, it's not just the temperature rising, it's the heat of the moment. Blushing happens when she's feeling aroused or embarrassed, and if it happens around you, she's definitely thinking about you in ways that aren't just friendly. This is her body's way of betraying her thoughts. So, take note. Blushing is an involuntary response triggered by adrenaline, which causes blood vessels to expand and bring that rosy color to the surface. It's a physical reaction to emotional stimulation, whether it's embarrassment, excitement, or attraction. Imagine this. You're flirting, and you notice her cheeks turning pink. That's not just a random flush. It's her body's way of showing she's affected by your presence. And if she's blushing, it's a pretty good bet she's imagining something that's making her heart race a little faster, and it probably involves you. So next time you're chatting with her, keep an eye out for these signs. If you see them, there's a good chance she's already imagined you in some pretty interesting scenarios. If you dug this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your buddies. Catch you in the next one.